Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Geek Dunn Ryte, the show where I talk about whatever it is I feel like. I'm Chris. Thanks for coming to geek out with me. Some people say you just cannot believe Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. Oh man, stupid. Yeah, that's actually what I want to talk about today. No, not the Jamaican bobsled team, but movies from the 90s. I actually kind of miss them, especially those comedies / dramas and everything. See, back then, they weren't afraid of being a little bit silly. And unfortunately, right now, there's too many people that are trying to be a little too serious. And I just kind of miss a little bit of the silliness, you know? I miss the way that you could tell an inspirational story, yet still have a lot of the comedy and silliness with it, but you know, just still have those moments of triumph. I mean, yeah, Surf Ninjas back in the day, that was a pretty silly movie. I mean, it was intended to be from the get-go, but the underlying thing about it is I appreciate the change in the characters, going from these silly, just crazy kind of kids with no responsibilities that don't really care about much, to people who are great leaders and wise leaders. And yeah, they're still kids at the end, but they are able to step up and be something that they were always meant to be, that they were destined to be. I really like the idea of that. And once again, though, I mean, yeah, you were laughing the whole time. You were laughing at their friend who believed that he is actually the king of Patusan, and all these crazy antics. I mean, yeah, you have the silly warlord guy, and I mean, there's so much that is silly about it, but I just really like the underlying principles. And I mean, it has martial arts. Come on. I mean, seriously. Some really kick butt stuff goes on in there. It's just like, ooh, yeah, all right, yeah, ooh, oh. All right. Second movie I'd like to talk about, Cool Runnings. Actually, that's like the top of my list in reality. That's one of my favorite movies, hands down. So many different lines from that movie I quote on the regular. In fact, I can probably quote like most of the movie, at least the good stuff, in my opinion. And I think it's just a really inspirational story. It teaches us about how no matter what anybody says, no matter how many obstacles are against us, we can rise above it and become something great. We can become something inspirational. And even if we fail, we can still inspire others to try and succeed. The Jamaican bobsled team, they failed in their gold medal run. However, they didn't end. They went and they picked up their sled and they took it to the finish line. I mean, inspirational. But then you got like Dougie Doug sitting there being Sanka.
How about I draw a line down the middle of your head so it looks like a butt?
Just so many different quotes from that movie. It's just awesome. Like, there's so much warmth and flair, and it kind of helps you to not take life too seriously. Once again, that's that point. Like, you can still inspire others. You can be true to who you are, and also it's okay to be a little silly sometimes. And that's one of the things that I really love about that movie. Once again, probably one of my all-time favorite movies from the 90s. And then also another great movies, at least set of movies. I'm not really a huge fan of the third one, but even still, great movies all around. The Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks 1 and 2 were some of my favorites from the 90s. You have the story of these kids who are really not that good. And then they get this jerk of a lawyer who was assigned to work with them. He really didn't want to. And he wanted to try and play professional hockey and everything, but that didn't work out. And so he's all like grumbly. He hates kids and everything. So like you see the transformation of him as a lead character into the coach that he was always meant to be. And he ended up growing to love these kids. And he ended up being an incredible coach. And then these kids went from these misfit kids that couldn't play a lick of hockey if their life depended on it to incredible hockey players in their own right, even being even to the point of being chosen to be a part of the Junior Goodwill Games, which we see in number 2. Of course, you know, we don't have all the ones from the first one, blah, 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 but we do get to see that continuation. We get to see Kanan from Kenan and Kel. He's sitting there in there doing his little knuckle puck, and you just have the fun, like the immaturity of childhood. They are allowed to be kids in these movies, which I think is personally is one of the things I love about them as well. Kids are allowed to be kids, but also at the same time, they're able to become their best selves. They grow, they improve. I mean, not to get too much on a soapbox and everything like that, but that's one of the things, that's some of the things I love about these things. I mean, that's some of the things I love about these movies. I love to be inspired in movies, but I also like to have fun. And these kids are hilarious with the little pranks that they pull and all sorts of things, like trying to get people to go away or, you know, and also the way that they as a team inspire a nation as well. Well, that's going to wrap things up for this episode of Geek Dunn Ryte. Hey, what is your favorite 90s movie? Leave that in the comment section down below. And make sure to go King Kong on that like button. It helps me out a lot. Share this video and subscribe for more videos like this from Geek Dunn Ryte. Until next time, y'all take it easy. Peace.